everyone. Happy Easter to you all. Today I'm doing a candy melting wafer Easter project demo. These are candy melting wafers. They come in different colors and flavors. The chocolate ones are brown and taste like chocolate, a little like chocolate, like an artificial kind of chocolate. They do come in other colors. The other colors taste a little like white chocolate, and all the colors taste about the same. There's not much difference between them. I purchased these at the Bulk Barn, which is a local bulk food store that you can find in Canada. Other places you can find them at craft stores like Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You can also purchase them online from websites like Wilton.com, eBay. All you have to do is Google candy melting wafer and likely you'll be able to find a source. These melt very well in the microwave at 50% power. I melt them right in Ziploc bags and they are easy to use. I just snip off the corner. Now these are molds. I actually found these at a thrift store and they don't sit very well on the counter, so I'm placing them on a dish towel just to keep them stable. What I'm doing here is my first attempt at making a 3D whole bunny, a hollow chocolate bunny. So this is one half of the mold, and I'm just doing some of the little details. Like for example, the bunny tail, that's some white candy melting wafer. If you want to do the details, you do some of the smaller details first, let them harden completely, and then you add the chocolate on top of that. So there's some of the carrot. I did the nose, and now I'm doing the eyes. And what you need to do is, for each color that you do, let it sit either in the refrigerator or at room temperature, let it harden, and then add the next color on top. Now for the eyes here, I didn't really wait for the blue to set properly, and you can see the blue is actually bleeding a little bit into the white, so you should really wait until it's set completely. So once all those colors are set, now I'm going to add the chocolate. Now you could fill this up completely and make like a solid bunny if you wanted to, but I wanted to really try to make a hollow bunny because I'd never done this kind of thing before. This is the first time I try this. I have no idea if I'm doing it right. However, you'll see what the results are. Now there's the back of the bunny. Now what I tried to do is just kind of fill it in and then just move the chocolate up the sides of the mold using a spoon, and then I put it in the refrigerator to set. Now these are interesting. This is a chocolate egg I bought for Easter last year. And it was a hollow egg. I believe it was an Arrow or a Smarties brand egg that had candies inside. And I just kept the plastic part of it. It came that way packaged. And I thought to myself, this would actually make a pretty cool mold. So I poured a little bit of the chocolate candy melting wafer in there, and then I just turned it and twirled it around until the entire surface was covered. And I kept turning it, and the chocolate kind of starts to solidify as it cools. And I just turned it until there wasn't much chocolate flowing on the inside, and then I put it in the refrigerator to cool. And I also wanted to add some little candies inside that large egg, so I'm just doing a few little chocolate bunnies. I also found this mold at a thrift store as well. A lot of people get rid of their candy molds when they're not using them anymore. Now there is a solid shell, and I thought maybe it was a little bit too thin. I thought it would break once it comes out of the mold. So I'm adding a little bit of more chocolate just to make this shell a little bit thicker. Now I'm bound to get some questions about how can I color white chocolate using food dye. You can color plain white chocolate or plain candy melting wafers, but you need oil-based food coloring because if you use the liquid kind, it'll make the chocolate seize up and it won't be smooth. Now there's the chocolate bunny halves. I'm just putting some chocolate around the edge as kind of the glue to hold the two halves together. You also noted I added more chocolate on the inside of that one to make it a little bit more solid. And then I'm adding the top part of the bunny. Next time I will just leave it right in the mold and add the second half on top of it instead of removing it, because the more you handle these, the more you will get fingerprints on them. Now there was some significant gaps on the sides and the top of the bunny, and I thought I would try to fill them by adding a little bit more chocolate. This did work, however I didn't like the look of the seam at all, so I tried to remove some of the seam just by scraping some of it down with a knife. However, I wasn't particularly thrilled with how that turned out either. Now there's the chocolate egg. You'll notice I left this one in the one half of the mold. Add the second one and then just let it harden. I forgot to put my little chocolate bunnies in there when I did this. I realized it afterwards, of course. So I'm popping this one out of the mold. and then using a dish towel to hold it because, like I said, you don't want fingerprints on your egg, and the heat of your fingers will start to melt it if you hold it for a long time. So just using a sharp knife just to scrape off the excess. And this one turned out pretty nice. Actually, I was pretty impressed with it, except for the fact that I forgot to put the little bunnies inside. So I had to put them on the side. And there's the completed bunny. I mean, overall, I thought it turned out quite cute. I think if I was a little bit more careful with the way I filled it, I think that there would have been less of a gap on the top and the sides. But I really like the little color details, and you can see where there's a gap there. And you put this into a little decorative plastic bag with a ribbon, and you have a homemade Easter treat for somebody. And there's the chocolate egg. That one turned out well as well. So I'm posting this today because if you did get any Easter chocolate that came in a plastic kind of a mold, you may be able to reuse it and make a different kind of a special little treat next year. So if you can, give it a try.